My name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about, is buy-to-let finished? Is it over? Is it kaput? Is it dead? Well, there's a lot going against landlords at the moment, and so I want to cover that. And I also want to give you some other strategies. If you're thinking about becoming a property investor, maybe you're a property investor already and you want to make more money, this video could be for you. So while you're here, as always, do smash subscribe and hit the bell notification. We're a smidge away from 20,000 subscribers now. We're surely going to hit it in the next few days. So make sure you help us get there and smash the like button or tickle the like button. Do something to the like button, guys. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And so every time you do that, that really will push the channel even more. And any questions or comments, always comment below. We personally reply to every single comment on the channel. So what's going on at the moment? Well, it's been really hard for landlords over the last few years. I know you're not going to get your violin out and feel sorry for landlords if you're a tenant at the moment, but it really has been difficult. We've had interest rates going up at record speed. They're not at record highs, but the speed they went up at made a massive difference to landlord. You see, we pay interest only, and there were some landlords that were on 1% deals and then got 6% deals. And if you're on interest only, that means your payments are 6 times more. 6 times more, which is crazy. You've got Section 24, which is the landlord tax. That means that you pay tax on your gross income of your property business. No other business does that. Every other business, you can deduct expenses. You can deduct your mortgage from it, for example. Not landlords. That really hits them very hard. We've got house prices that have been going down in value as well. We've got legislation. We had the EPC rules and they were saying we had to get it up to a level C at one stage. That's now been pushed back indefinitely. But all of these things combined meant landlords just felt hard done by. And it meant that they just felt that they couldn't really move forward with whatever they were doing. So what is the solution? Well, buy-to-let in the south of England is really hard at the moment. And so I would say, if you look at the numbers in the south, I'd say it doesn't work. I'd say it's really hard to get it working. And what I mean by buy-to-let is a standard buy-to-let. I mean, buying a property that's ready to go. You're not doing any work on it. It's ready to rent out. It's got nice carpets. It's painted. Maybe it's a new build property. You're putting 75% mortgage on that, 25% deposit on that. That doesn't stack up in the south. The reason being, house prices are right up here and rents are down here. So the south, what you need to do if you do want to do a buy-to-let is you probably need to put more deposit in, which is not really what you want to do, right? So the north does work. So in the north of England, it is a yes. The numbers stack up quite well. We bought a property last year that was for £60,000, and that £60,000 property is now getting £675 rent per month, which is beautiful, if you ask me. So that's really, really good, and that's working well in the north of England. But what else should we be looking at? Because as buy-to-let investors, we can't all just invest in the north. Some of us want to invest in the south. And the problem with the north is that you can get a really good return on your investment. You can make good rental profits, but you don't get such good capital appreciation. In the south is where I'm making my capital appreciation, and that's gone really well for me. So what strategies should we look at? Well, we need to look at high cash flow strategies. I'm going to run through a few of those. Firstly is HMOs, and we call those houses of multiple occupancy. Maybe you were a student once and you rented out a property with friends and stuff like that. That's a house of multiple occupancy, HMO. Now these things are more common for professionals. Lots of professional people use these. Workers, doctors and nurses, that works very, very well for them. And so HMOs are where you might take a 3-bedroom house. It might have 2 reception rooms, a living room and a dining room. You might turn those into bedrooms as well and rent it out on a room-by-room basis. And rather than getting maybe £1,000 rent for it, you get £500 per room, meaning you get £2,500 per month. Now, you're going to have to pay other bills. You're going to have to pay the council tax. You're going to have to pay insurance. You're going to have to pay heating and all of these things. But the cash flow will be at least £1,000 a month. So HMOs is a great strategy. And I think that strategy is going to work indefinitely. There's so much requirement for those at the moment. Next one is my favourite strategy. And that's the BRRR strategy. And that stands for buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. Buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. That's what we did for Georgia, my daughter. This is why we started this channel. So way back, over a year ago now, I started this channel to hold myself accountable. So I've already got a nice portfolio, but I want to build one for my daughters. I've got Georgia, who's 23. I've got Emily, who's just 3. And so I bought them some properties now, and you can see those on this channel. We bought Georgia a property at auction. It was a mess, and we refurbished that for around £12,000. We put new kitchen, new bathroom, we plastered it, we decorated it, we cleaned the windows out the front, we cleaned the front and back garden, we put carpets in, all of that wonderful stuff. And so that's what we did. We bought it for 60, we refurbished it for 12. All the costs came in with stamp duty and legals around 75, give or take a few £100. And then we refinanced it. So then we went to a mortgage broker and we said, look, this property, we want to put it on a mortgage now. We bought cash initially, and then we put it on a mortgage. The property got valued at £100,000, which was perfect. It doesn't always work exactly like that, but it meant in this instance, we got all our money back. Now, we might not always get all our money back. Maybe we'll leave 5,000 in or 10,000 in, but it's still way less than leaving a full 25% deposit. And then we take that money out, and then we bought Georgia a flat down in Dorking. So we buy it, we refurbish it, we refinance it to get our money back, or as much as we can, and then we rent it, right? And that's rented out for 675 at the moment. So that's the BRRR strategy. That's a good strategy to reinvest your capital and grow a portfolio. Next is social housing. This is really popular at the moment. We've got one in Hastings where we're doing this. And so we were getting 800 rent. We now get 1,400 rent. How do we do it? We contacted the council. We said, look, we want to do vulnerable people in this property. They put us in contact with somebody. We now get a higher rent. We actually got rent in advance. Like 3 months rent in advance. It was a lot better. It's a lot more organised. They look after the property. They maintain the property. They will probably keep it for 10, 20 years if we're happy with that. And tell you what, I am, to be honest. So social housing pays better. And that's another strategy. It's a higher rent strategy. Next is serviced accommodation. And that's where you take a property and you rent it out on Airbnb, right? Or booking.com or hotels.com. And this can work well in seaside areas, but I like to focus on cities. I've got one in London. It's a bit harder in London because of some of the rules, but we also would look at doing this in major cities that have things happening all year round. Maybe they've got Christmas shopping. Maybe they've got summer events going on. And maybe they've got contractors and workers that need those properties longer term. So social serviced accommodation is a great strategy. In fact, we've got a sale on the Serviced Accommodation Accelerator at the moment. It's our second program we've just launched. I'm going to link that below, so you can go and check that out at the moment. It's on a 90% discount for a short while. And the last strategy, and this strategy is crazy good. I actually met someone at an event last Sunday, and they have got 70 lease options that they did in one go. So a lease option is where you buy a house for £1, you buy it for £1, and then what you then do is you agree a price. So there's people that need to sell their properties right now, right? They need to sell their properties straight away, and that's important to them. But what they also want to happen is they want to get a premium price. Now, they might have a property that's worth 100 grand to them, but the market's dropped, right? Maybe in the market, because prices are going down, maybe it's only worth 90 now, but maybe they got a 99% mortgage from Rishi Sunak or something like that, right? And so they're now £10,000 in negative equity. They owe the bank 100, but the market says it's only worth 90. You can't pay that. They can't accept that. So what you do is you agree that I'll pay you this 100 grand, but I need to delay the transaction. So we'll agree a price today. I'll take it on. I'll take the mortgage payments on from you, but I need this property here. This must be discounted. This must complete at a later date. So what we can do is we do a pound transaction. We do the solicitors and all that sort of stuff. And then we say, look, in 5 years, I'll give you that. That takes all the stress and the burden away from these guys. That's important. Really, really important. And then we look to complete that transaction in 5 years when the market's recovered. That's Lease Options. We're going to do a program on that as well, so you can understand how that works. So look, all of these strategies are high cash flow. They beat buy-to-let in this market. You could also do these together. So you could buy, refurbish, refinance, and then you could rent it out as social housing or an HMO or service accommodation, right? You can combo these strategies, and that is where you get a super deal and make really, really good money. So buy-to-let, it works. If you just want to do a vanilla buy-to-let, you can still do that in the north, but in the south, it's really hard. So you should be looking, in all instances, you want to improve your cash flow, look at these strategies. And look, we've got the fundamentals of property investing at less than 50 quid. I'll teach you which is the best strategy for you. And we've got the service accommodation accelerator discounted at the moment. So do check out those in the links below. Smash the like button, guys. That really helps us with YouTube. Do subscribe and hit the bell. Check out some more content on my channel, including this video right here.